Context: Charles Dickens was born on February 7, 1812, and spent the first 9 years of his life in Kent, a marshy region by the sea in the southeast of England. Dickens' father, John, was a kind and likable man, but he was incomplete with money and piled up tremendous debt through his life. When Dickens was 9, his family moved to London, and later, when he was 12, his father was arrested and taken to debtor prison. Dickens' mother moved his 7 brothers and sister into prison with their father, but arranged for Charles to live alone outside the prison, working with other children at the nightmarish job in a blacking warehouse, pasting labels on bottles. The 3 months he spent apart from his family were highly traumatic for Dickens, and his job was miserable. He considered himself too good for it, earning the contempt of other children. After his father was released from prison, Dickens returned to school. He tried his hand professionally as law clerk and then a court reporter before becoming a novelist. His first novel, The Pickwick Paper, became a huge popular success when Dickens was only 25. He was a literary celebrity throughout England for the remainder of his life. At about this time, he fell in love with Mary Bandnell, the daughter of a banker. In spite of his ambition and literary success, Dickens considered her social inferior in terms of wealthy and family background, and Mary's father prohibited the marriage. Several years later, Dickens married Catherine Hogarth. Although they had 10 children, Dickens was never completely happy in this marriage, and he and Catherine eventually separated. So the young blacking factory employee had considered himself too good for his job. The older novelist retained a deep interest in the concern for the plight of the poor, particularly poor children. The Victorian England in which Dickens lived was fraught with massive economic turmoil, as the Industrial Revolution sent shock waves through the established order. The disparity between the rich and poor, or the middle and working class, grew even greater as factory owners exploit their employees in order to increase their own profit. Workers, referred to as the hand in hard times, were forced to work long hours for low pay and cramped, sooty, loud, and dangerous factories. Because they lacked education and job skills, these workers had few options for improving the terrible living and working condition. With the empathy he gained through his own experience of poverty, they can become involved with a number of organizations that work to alleviate the horrible living condition of the London poor. For instance, he was the speaker for the Metropolitan Sanitary Organization, and with his wealthy friend Angela Burdett Coates, he organized projects to clear up the slums and build clean, safe, cheap housing for the poor. Though he was far too great a novelist to become a propagandist, Dickens several times used his art as a lens or to focus attention on the plight of the poor and to attempt to awaken the conscience of the readers. Hard Time is just such a novel set amped the industrial smokestacks and factories for Cocktown, England. The novel uses its character and stories to expose the massive gulf between the nation's rich and poor, to criticize what Dickens perceived as an unfeeling self-interest of the middle and upper class. Indeed, Hard Times suggests that 19th century England itself is turning into the factory machine. The middle class is concerned only with making a profit in the most efficient and practical way possible. Hard Time is not a delicate book. Dickens hammers home his point with vicious, often hilarious satires and sentimental melodrama. It is also not a difficult book. Dickens wanted all his reader to catch his point exactly, and the moral theme of the novel is very explicitly articulated time and again. There are no hidden meaning in Hard Times, and the book is an interesting case of a great writer subordinating his art to a moral and social purpose. Even if it is not Dickens' most popular novel, it is still important expression of the value he thought were fundamental to human existence.